Good morning from 6:20 on the morning of day 77. I'm getting going. I didn't even attempt to set my alarm earlier than 5:30 because I knew there was no way in heck I was going to get up. The thermometer is saying low 40s again, but may get a little bit warmer. Today it says a high of 63, and I think yesterday was high 50s. But it was so cold this morning, I didn't bother to redo my braids, so they're a little raggedy. I washed the socks that I'm wearing right now when I stopped for lunch at 12:30. Hung them on the back of my pack where, they're theoretically exposed to the sun. Then slept with them underneath my sleeping pad, and then for the last hour and a half this morning put them inside my sleeping bag. And anyways, all that to say, they are still damp, so I always do this anyways, but I'll just have to make sure at lunchtime that I take my socks off my feet so I can dry out my feet and avoid swamp foot. But slightly damp, but more clean socks. I just washed them in a pond, so slightly damp but cleaner socks is better than the stiff, dirty socks that were my alternative. I don't know what else I was gonna say. Oh, my ankle was swollen yesterday at the end of last night with limited mobility, both flexion and extension. The swelling is improved, still slightly present this morning though. What else? Extension is back to normal this morning. Flexion is still limited with pain, which, is normal with shin splints, from what I gather. I slept for the first 3 or 4 hours of the night with my foot elevated on my food bag. And then after that, honestly, it was just uncomfortable. I couldn't sleep well. So I gave it up for the rest of the night. As happened yesterday, my pain in the morning, it's present, but minimal. And then we'll see how long it takes to kick in. Yesterday, so it was somewhere between 15 and 18 miles where the pain really started to kick in for my ankle. So we'll just see how it works today. But today is my last full day of hiking, and if I do 35 miles today, that means I'll only have 12 miles to do in the morning before Chad picks me up. He is flying in, renting a car, and he'll have an hour and a half drive to get to the road where he's gonna pick me up. What else? One last thing about today. There is someone had posted in Far Out that they're doing a hiker feed trail magic. Look at the sun, it's so pretty. That they're doing a hiker feed trail magic at a road crossing. And if you haven't gathered by now, hikers are highly, highly motivated by food. However, they said the timing of it is from noon until 6:30 or whenever they run out of food, and I am 34 miles away. So unfortunately, as much as I would love to get there, and even just timing wise, I'd love to be at 34 miles by 6:30 because that means I'll be at camp by 7, which is what I would love. So anyways, timing wise of the day, I'd love for that to happen for me, but getting there at 6:30 means the food will probably be gone or the people will be gone. But it's a good small motivator for me for today. I'm not going to hurt myself trying to get there earlier, but if it happens, I obviously wouldn't be upset about it. Starting the day off through a burn zone. From what I read in comments, this will be our view for the next 10 miles. Also, I don't remember if I gave an update or not, so I'm just gonna say it again. I think I already said this, but Vicky and Jocelyn, who I hiked a week and a half with in the Sierras, they are both off trail. Cole is presumably on trail, but we haven't talked much. Last we touched base was in Tahoe, and he was still on trail. And then Emily, and then my original family, Mia, Soren, Isabel, because Dirt Nap has separated them. No, nothing went wrong with them either, just different paths through the fire closures. But Mia, Isabel, Emily, and Soren are all together. They are actually, at the end of today, they will be 12 miles ahead of me, because at the end of the day they are trying to make today, they will be at Timberline Lodge, and I will be, oh no, they'll be 20 miles ahead of me, because I will be, yeah, so at the end of today they'll be 20 miles ahead of me, but they are gonna keep walking. So trail day starts on Friday. I'm getting picked up tomorrow after a 12-mile day, and tomorrow being Thursday. They're gonna keep doing full days Thursday and Friday and walk into Cascade Locks where trail days is happening. And since I'll be getting off, and after trail days going back to where I got off, I'll end up being 60 miles behind them the way they got ahead of me. So when it came time to the fire closure, me, Milkman, and Rocket skipped from Belden to Shasta, which was mile 1287 to 1502 or thereabouts. They all skipped from earlier than that, which was what was recommended if you could, because as you saw, it was hard to get out of Quincy. But they skipped from Donner Pass or Truckee at 11:54, so like 130 miles behind me, and then they skipped all the way up to Ashland, which was 17:19, where I had skipped to Shasta at 15:02. So they skipped a larger section than I did, which is how they are ahead of me, and they'll be 60 miles ahead of me. So I'll just be playing chase, trying to catch up with them. Probably won't, honestly, because there's not that many miles left, and the fire closures are gonna slow everyone down probably pretty equally, and or we'll skip different miles with the fire closures, because I'm trying to hike as many miles as possible. But anyways, that is the update on other people. Milkman is still in Sisters. I haven't had service to check, but I presume he's still in Sisters or Bend. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone else I've hiked with that needs an update. The group of Platinum Banter, etc., who I didn't really hike with, but have talked to and did the river float, etc. with, they're behind. They were planning to only make it to Bend for trail days. They wanted to do the river float in Bend, and then they were going to hitch up to trail days, and then they may or may not, Platinum said they may or may not hitch back to Bend, or they might just walk out of Cascade Locks, which if they walk out of Cascade Locks, they'll be 60 miles ahead, or if they go back to Bend, they'll be 100 miles behind. The river float again in Bend sounded fun, but this time I wanted to keep hiking, and also I don't know what the temperature down in Bend is, but it's really cold. Really cold. I can't imagine being in the water, so I hope they did it though and got to have some fun. But I think I should probably be done talking now and focus on hiking and not tripping through this rock maze. An update on my leg situation. I tried taking off the ace wrap to make sure that wasn't contributing anything, and instantly when I took it off, my shin started hurting. So then I changed how I wrapped it, and am only wrapping my shin And the shin pain is doing well. The ankle pain is worse than it was yesterday morning. When I'm walking, I walk with a limp, but it's kind of, my ankle kind of locks up, so I can manage just painfully. But it is definitely more painful than it was yesterday. It is swollen. I cannot rotate my ankle in a circle very well, so I don't know what's going on. I don't think swollen ankle relates to shin pain or relates to shin splints, so who the heck knows what's going on with my legs, my feet. My body just seems like it's falling apart. And then I probably just pushed too hard the last week and a half or so, but muscularly I still feel great. It's just my ligaments and tendons don't feel great. And so anyways, that's the update. We're in a lot of pain, but pushing through because I'm stubborn is what I do. Just got to get through today, and then only 12 miles tomorrow morning. I will definitely not be making that trail magic today, which is a little bit sad, but it is what it is. I'll have good food tomorrow. Just gotta keep putting one foot in front of the other. I absolutely love that flowers are one of the first things to grow back in a burn zone. I just stopped and chatted for about 10 minutes with an older lady who's hiking southbound with her dog. It was like a, I don't know, like a 12 to 15 pound Jack Russell Terrier mix of some sort. She said he's 13 years old. She and he did the whole Appalachian Trail in 2017, which is the year I did half of it with Jada. And now she's taken him on this hike for as long as, or as well as he manages. So it was fun to stop and chat with her about her dog and the trail, etc. I didn't need another break so soon, and you know, but got to take these moments just to meet other people and talk to them when I can. Taking the time to soak my foot and ankle. It's kind of buggy, but it's still worth it. I just saw a black bear. Saw a black furry animal facing away from me on trail. This is probably like 100 feet ahead or so. I don't know, I'm not good with distance, but anyway, from behind and from far away, I was like, oh, a black shepherd or black dog, maybe a black German shepherd, and went running away. And then once it saw it running, and then it turned off to run into the, you know, into the bushes. I was like, oh, not a shepherd, not a dog, that's a bear. But it's about the size of a shepherd from behind, so that's about the size it was. And obviously it ran away. It's a black bear. It doesn't want to interact with me. But that is only my second bear I have seen on trail. Trail magic update. Got to the road where they were supposed to be, and there was no trail magic, unfortunately. It was 3 older ladies, and they were packing up, but hadn't run out of food. But I did push it that last little bit. Got to the road by about 6:50. Not because I was trying to hit the trail magic, but more so because I'm in a lot of pain and ready to be done hiking. And it turns out that hiking faster, actually, it hurts the same or a little bit less even. So that was my sole reason for that. I've now done 34 miles. There's half mile to the next water source. I'll collect water and then just keep walking until I find a campsite. Made it to camp by 7:20. So compared to what I normally hike, I still have time in the day to keep hiking, but I am drained, and like I mentioned, I am in pain and I just want to stay off my foot. I made it so that I only have 11.7 miles left to do tomorrow, which my goal was under 12, and Chad will be there between 11 and 12, so I'll get a sleep in, which I'm looking forward to. Turning my alarm till 6:30 or 7 or something like that. But nothing exciting, just a flat little spot right here. Will definitely be by myself tonight because there is no other tent sites here. But that is a-okay. Like I said, my biggest goal is just setting up my tent, then laying down and relaxing. So, I don't know if I said already, but 35.4 miles for the day. Yeah. My shin and my ankle hurt. I mean, definitely shin splints. I don't know if the ankle, I've never had shin splints before to know if the ankle is related to that or if that's just a separate issue. But there is instant relief the minute I stop walking and point my toes a little bit. So I think it's related to shin splints. But I guess if nothing else, even though I didn't get to do the 50 mile, at least I have found what my body's limit is. It's kind of annoying because if this wasn't happening with my right leg, I would easily be comfortable with this. If my left leg is any judge, my left leg feels amazing, not weak, not tired, nothing at all. Muscles feel fine. So that leads me to believe if I didn't have the right shin and ankle issue, I could easily keep doing this. But did that happen because I've pushed miles, or did that happen because I changed shoes? I tend to think the shoes, or I hope to think the shoes. But either way, definitely will not be pushing like this moving forward. This was just a kind of an experiment to push and find limit, and I did. And now, not doing this again. Good morning from day 78. I'm obviously lying in bed, and it is 7:35. I was supposed to do 11 miles today and have Chad pick me up at the road, where we'd then drive to Cascade Locks. But my ankle, the swelling that was at the end of day yesterday was more than it was the day before, and the ankle is still swollen this morning. Enough that I'm actually worried that the days off won't be enough to bring it back down to normal and let me keep walking pain-free. So we'll cross that bridge when it comes. But anyways, we're adjusting our plans, and there is Little Crater Lake in about 4 miles from where I am, where there's a parking lot that doesn't add much time to Chad's drive time, so I only have 4 miles to walk today by 11:30, so even getting started at 9:30 is, you know, being generous with time. So I get to stay here and read for a few more hours and just relax, and then walk 4 miles, and then get to town, rest up, and figure out how to get my ankle better. It is 9:20 and I've barely started walking. I've enjoyed my lazy morning, and it's a pretty flat 4 miles to the parking lot where Chad will pick me up in a few hours. I have a couple hours to do the 4 miles. I am moving very slow, and honestly, with how my ankle feels right now, even though it is the most swollen it has been since it started hurting, I feel like I could have done the 12 miles, but at a slow pace, so it would have taken me a long time, and I would have had to wake up earlier. And anyways, I haven't been smart or nice to my ankle the last several days, so today's the day I'm gonna do that and make up for it. So 4 easy miles over the next couple hours to the parking lot, and then I get the rest of today and 3 more days to rest and try and get my ankle back to normal so so I can finish off this trail. From where I get to the parking lot will be 2,080, which means there will be, the trail is like 2,650 plus minus 2 miles. So officially less than 600 miles of the trail, but a lot of that is closed due to fires, which I don't know the full extent yet, so I'll have to figure that out once I get service in Crater Lake or Cascade Locks. That means not a whole lot left to do, but I want my ankle feeling better, or at least less pain, for me to do that. I'm feeling slightly pessimistic that 3.5 days off is not going to be enough to make my ankle feel better. So this point is what I can give it. You know, I could stay in Cascade Locks. Well, no, I couldn't stay in Cascade Locks longer because where I'm getting off is a random trail that, you know, it's not like I could hitch or anything like that. I'm only able to get off here and get a ride because it's Chad. So I can't stay in Cascade Locks longer. I do have to get back to trail on Sunday when Chad leaves. But, you know, I can take it slower and plan to take it slower the first couple days back out. Hopefully let my ankle heal some, and then see if I can pick up the pace, or if I have to keep going slow. You know, got plenty of time left to do it, left to do the trail. I was hoping that I'd be able to finish before mid-September based on how little miles and how fast I've been able to go, but, you know, that might push back a little bit because of this injury. But I will absolutely still finish at whatever pace it takes, and whatever miles the fire closures let me do. But it should be a nice, like I said, nice flat morning, not really any ups and downs. Just a chill walk through the forest, and at some point we'll be walking alongside Timothy Lake. So, just to put a little insight into the smell that Chad is about to have to endure. Today is August 15th. We left Ashland the afternoon of the 6th, which means I haven't done laundry since the 5th, and haven't even washed, like rinsed my shirt or shorts, sports bra or anything in water since then because it's been too cold that I want it dry. So haven't laundry since the 5th, and thankfully I did get a very quick shower on the night of the 9th. It was a 5-minute time shower, no shampoo, so I didn't wash my hair, just some body wash. But anyways, it's been a long time since I've showered and done laundry, and been sweating and pushing a lot of miles since then. So Chad's in for a real treat when he gets to smell and see me. These woods are just so peaceful this morning. This is Little Crater Lake that stays at a temperature of 34 degrees year-round and is 45 feet deep. The GoPro doesn't show it, but it is very, very clear. You can see the bottom. Doesn't seem like it's 45 feet because of how clear it is, but it does remind me a lot of the pools in Yellowstone.